Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel again. She showed up 2 times. I can't believe I'm here for the second time. Like, I was gonna say we doing it, but the Holy Spirit is doing it. Okay, the Holy Spirit is working. Today's video is going to be about purpose and passion and why we all struggle. You know that feeling where you're going through life and you're going through the mundane things, the going to your 9 to 5, the taking care of your kids if you're a mom, the going out with girlfriends if you're single, and you're in that stage of life and you're just like, there has to be more to life. There has to be more to life. Maybe you're looking to serve or to give back or to do more with your life, but you're just struggling to find that thing that connects the dots, right? That thing that is yours, that makes you unique. And I think that that's why a lot of people struggle with finding purpose and passion. And every conversation that I seem to have, it's like the most popular thing that comes up. It doesn't necessarily come up exactly as I want to know what my purpose is, I want to know what my passion is. It just comes up as that thing of I need more out of life. These are multiple conversations that I've had. I think one of the biggest blockers or hindrances or walls between us and what we really want to do in the world are opinions from outside. What are people going to think about this? How we were raised, you know, depending on what kind of family you were raised in, what the principles were in your family, what you're allowed and not allowed to do, and also just not knowing how important it is to even figure that out before you get older. I think that's one of the other reasons why it's so difficult, because nobody tells you when you're young, and if you hang out or you have the same kinds of friends, it just doesn't come up, right? It's like, I want to graduate from school. We just go through the motions. The notion that finding your purpose and passion is this one final answer that when you do find it, it's like one and done forever. And that is not the case at all. That's another reason why I think people struggle with just settling down. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to commit to doing one thing for the rest of my life. And so what that does is eventually you don't do anything because you're trying not to commit. So you're trying to do different things at the same time, and in the process of not committing, time is also passing you by. So it's a conundrum, right? Like they say, chicken and egg situation. Disclaimer, if you're gonna be on my channel, there's gonna be a lot of times where I ramble. So it's not a heads up, I'm working on it. We're gonna get better together, okay? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about purpose and passion, right? Disclaimer again, please note, like all the other videos on this channel, it's a reflection of my experience, my own studies, my own research, and it's just an contribution from other people's experiences. That's what I'm able to use to talk to you. It's not the law, and your opinion matters as well. So purpose and passion, what are we talking about? Passion is internal and purpose can sometimes be external. So people use passion and purpose simultaneously sometimes in our current world. But I think your passion is guided by the things that make you spark internally, the things that you can do for long periods of time and not realize that time has passed. Purpose, on the other hand, can be external in that often our purpose is to serve other people, to give of our time, or to use our lives as a reflection or an example to benefit other people, right? Like, it doesn't mean that you can't get rewarded from your purpose, but usually your purpose has other people's satisfaction involved as well. And this is why people who have nurtured, succeeded and mastered and executed the fruits of their purpose in life have like huge followings, they're known and they're recognized, and because they're serving their flock with the purpose that is within them. Within purpose, I do believe that your purpose automatically comes with a flock that you're meant to feed and serve, right? So that's kind of like the difference between purpose and passion. I'll say what is similar in the two is basically for each of them, it requires you to show up. It requires you to be present, to want to do it. It requires you to put some effort into it. It just doesn't come by finding out what your purpose and passion is. It's not even half the job, right? We spend so much time trying to find it, but once we find it, we have to work at it. In an ideal world, the goal, or I'll say the desire, is for our purpose to coexist with what we're absolutely passionate about, what we love internally and externally, living in the same place. That would be like in an ideal world. One of the most important things that I want to talk about today with regards to finding purpose and passion is having internal conversations with ourselves and listening to what our inner beings really want from us, right? So how do you find your purpose? Well, I think listening to your inner self, your inner voice, is the bedrock and the foundation of finding your purpose, because the two have to be connected, right? We have so many conversations with people, with our phones, with the internet, with the internet, and scrolling on social media with friends who we will never meet and who will never respond to us. But I digress, because that's why I'm here. Still, we don't have enough seeking, soul-searching conversations with ourselves. And I think that because of that, a lot of us are living like a half-baked life, right? Following things that really don't satisfy us, really don't serve us, but it's what's available. There's a saying that if you don't have a plan for yourself, you become part of somebody else's plan, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about here. I won't leave you without help. I mentioned it in my last video. This is something I'm really passionate about, and so I have created an assessment that is free for you to download. It's a starting point to have conversations with yourself that nobody is going to have with you, right? You have to start with yourself for yourself. Nobody is coming to save us. I always say that, like, yes, if you're a Christian, you were saved by Christ through faith. But when it comes to the actual steps and things to do in life, nobody's coming to save us. Even the person who wins the lottery needs to go and cash the check. Nobody's coming to save them. Nobody is coming. Do you see them? Do you hear them? Nobody is coming to save us. Having conversations with ourselves allows us to listen to the inner voice of what our soul really wants deep down, right? So the next thing I want to talk about is the impact of outside influences. You remember, we're kind of going through the important aspects of finding your purpose and passion. So the impact of outside influences is a really big one. It's another great wall between us and finding our purpose and passion as entrepreneurs, or just as people finding the what's next for ourselves in life, or just finding our space to hold in this world. That impact is really, really strong in current times where everything is on the internet. It feels like everybody has done everything. There's nothing left for you to do. No, the world needs you, honey. The world needs you. That's my message. If you take nothing from this video, take this. The world needs you. The world needs what you have. Question for this particular topic: how often have you shared a plan or a desire or an idea with someone, and once you got off the phone, once you finished sharing it, it lost value in your eyes? It's like you gave away part of the power. You gave away something, right? They didn't have to have said anything bad. They didn't have to have received it poorly. It could have just been the energy of the room, the energy of the conversation, or it could have just been the fact that you shared it too soon. That's a whole other video that we're going to get to one day. But in my experience, I've found that I've nurtured dreams and passions and ideas in my mind, and the minute I picked up my phone to tell someone about it, especially when I had done nothing towards those dreams, especially when I hadn't put in the work for it, it lost value to me immediately. You share the idea, the person gets super excited for you, they make it a big deal, and there's part of your subconscious that feels like you've already won, like it's already done, and the drive or the pressure that you felt to get it done sort of goes down, and it works against you. So I'm saying twofold. I'm saying that's one outcome. The other outcome is you share it and they discourage you, oh, everybody's doing it, or they tell you why you shouldn't do it, or they give you ideas from their bad experiences. And don't get me wrong, another video which is going to come soon is, fertile ground where we take our information to, right? And I say that because not everybody who has a negative point of view is against you, and not everybody who has a positive point of view is for you and is who you should listen to. But you have to be connected to what your inner being wants to be able to discern who's coming from a good place and who's not, right? Anyways, I digress again, working on the rambling. So we're talking about the impact of outside influences, and that's one of the things that holds us back from our purpose and our passion. Next, outside influences could also be negative self-talk, right? Sometimes we just internalize other people's experiences as though they're our own. And of course, the internet is its own total outside influence in general. That's a whole other topic. I see the internet as a buffet, right? It's a table, it's a buffet of food, and it's up to you to choose what you're going to put on your plate. And then when it's on your plate, you can still choose what you're going to spoon feed yourself and what's going to enter your spirit, your soul, and your body. So the next point I want to talk about today is listening, but learning to quiet down the noise. So I'm a huge proponent of listening to learn and to understand, and listening to learn from other people's experiences without necessarily going through the same struggles that they went through. And that's why I'm here, right? To share as much as I can. And it's also a significant work in progress in my life. It doesn't have to be harsh, it doesn't have to be something major, but it can just be enough to where it distracts you from keeping your eye on the ball. Think about it like sports, right? When that moment where the guy is about to score on a soccer field, if he gets distracted by anything, in a split second, the goal doesn't happen. And I feel like that's what outside noise is. As we let other people speak into our lives, into our ideas, and share their opinions, it's extremely important and vital to choose what you accept into your own spirit and your safe space where your purpose is being nurtured. And it's okay to compartmentalize, in the process of trying to find your purpose and passion. You can decide that while I'm on this journey, I'm not going to talk about my plans with people. There's a whole barrage of things that you can talk about, right? So you don't have to share that part of your life with people if you're still working on it, if you feel like it needs to be nurtured. And you can also take it to fertile ground. For me, prayer is always fertile ground, always. And there has to be a few people in your life that you can consider fertile ground. But anyways, the last thing I want to talk about today, in the process of finding purpose and passion, is accidental purpose. I'm gonna try to get through this one without getting emotional. But sometimes our purpose appears when we aren't looking for it, right? Or when we aren't searching. In those times, I feel like we must pay attention to the things around us in spite of what we're going through. Accidental purpose. It happens in a few instances, and I'm going to share them as well. So the first one is in those moments where you're doing something that you feel is so simple to you, and the people around you are amazed by it. You might have purpose or passion there, and it comes to you as second nature, but to them, it's a big deal. Pay attention. Second option, in those times in your life where something broke you to the core and you don't want this to happen to anybody else. Like, you're so passionate about how you felt. This is the negative source. You're so passionate about how you felt and how broken the thing made you that you do not want this to happen to somebody else. Those are moments to pay attention. Your purpose or passion may be born out of that. The third instance for accidental purpose is in those moments where You do something for the first time and you can't stop doing it. Can't stop thinking about it, can't stop doing it. Like recently my sister got into Canva, and I kid you not, like in a day she could have designed 40 different things for different reasons, but pay attention to things like that. Like in our, like they say, big age, when you're no longer 5 or 10, it's a big age, right? Like they say in our big age, if you can find something that you like to do and you're passionate about, pay attention to that, listen to it. You know, that's the universe, that's the world, that's the energy around you telling you that you have a knack in that area. And lastly, I want to say the moments where you're the best person for the job in the room. Like every time this thing comes up, you're the one people refer to, you're the one that people trust to do it. You might have a purpose in there. And I'm bringing this up because a lot of times we're going through life in the mundane, we're not paying attention to the things that we're doing, and we're missing out on opportunities that are already within us. We're going down on our knees, we're praying to God, God, I need you, give me a breakthrough. But you do your breakthrough every single day. So that's why I'm pointing this out. And of course, the things that just bring your heart joy, pay attention to those things. If it's your kids, pay attention to that. Nothing wrong with your purpose and passion in life being a mom, you know. So those are all instances where, you know, you can meet your purpose accidentally. So in conclusion, you may do all these things, you may try all the list of options that I've given you and still not get the answers that you want. That is fine. I will say, as an entrepreneur, you have to keep digging within, keep doing things, keep soul searching, because sometimes it's also about timing, right? We can show up, but we hardly know the when. And if you're a faith-filled person, I'm a faith-filled entrepreneur, so I highly believe in timing. At the same time, nothing is wasted. Just because the door did not open for you today doesn't mean that you're not going to get what you want tomorrow. In my next video, I'll be sharing my own journey to finding my purpose, and I hope that that helps. Funny enough, the light just went out. So remember, stay in service, the world needs you.